Click OK. And that's what I'm going to draw on top of. So I'm going to go in here now and do a sketch, and I'm going to grab that plane and do a look at. And all this is going to be is a couple of circles and something else. So a circle, this is going to be the thing that slides, it snaps it onto the bearing. So I'm going to put it right there. Now you'll see it's not snapping to anything on there. So what I have to do is I have to go in here to my project include, project. I'm going to geometry. I'm going to move this over to bodies, select that right there, click OK. And now I will be able to select that. Now I could just go with this, but I need to put another one on there. So I'm just going to make another one. So I'm going to come in here and do that. There's that on there. And I'm going to do another one that's going to be just proud of my bearing so that, you know, it doesn't rub on it. And I got plenty of place for my thumb to go. And click Finish Sketch. Go back to my space here. And now I got this thing right here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to extrude one of them down. So this one right here, I want to go down in that hole. And I'm just going to take it down. I don't know. Let's take it down negative, well, 7 millimeters. Let's take it down negative 3 millimeters. Okay. And instead of join, I'm going to make this a new body. Click OK. And now I'm going to take that other circle. So sketch turns off. I'm going to turn the sketch back on. And I'm going to do another extrusion. This time I'm going to do this one, and this one. I want that to all be one piece. And now I'm going to extrude this one up. I don't know. Let's extrude it up 0.18. No, that's too big. I don't know. Let's just do 3 millimeters again. I think that looks pretty good. Instead of join, I'm going to have that also be a new body. Click OK. Okay, so now I got this there. If I look it up, see how it's sitting just prior to that. It's sitting in there like that. Okay, now I'm going to mess with this a little bit. So I'm going to turn off this body right here. And before I do that, let's make this body into a component. And we'll just leave those bodies just like that. So I got that component. It's kind of pink colored. I'm going to turn it off so that I can mess with that. And I'm going to turn some of these bearings off too, because I don't need them on right now. And I'm going to mess with this thing. So now I got this thing. I think what I need to do is do a couple of things. I'm going to add some fillets to it. But first I need to join these two things together. So I'm going to take this to my combine tool. I'm going to take this, and that's my target body. There's my tool body. I want to do a join, and I want to keep those tools. Actually, I don't want to keep that. We're okay. There we go. Now it's one thing. So now I can come in here and do some fillets to it. But I also want to go on the bottom here. I want to be able to have that be hollow so that it's not some blocky. If it's hollow, it'll squish a little bit. So let's do that. Let's do a shell. Open that up. Actually, should I have done that shell beforehand? Let's do that shell beforehand. Okay, so I'm going to undo Control Z, Control Z. And now there are two components, right? Body 1, body 2. Cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a shell command, and I'm going to shell this out before I make it part of the other one. Just because I want to give it some meat. So I'm just going to do that a little bit, maybe make it a little thicker than that. I'm going with let's just go with 0.05 or 0.06, 0.06. There we go. Click OK. Now I'm going to join these two together. I guess I could turn that sketch off because I don't need it. I'm going to come up here, combine this to this, join that together. Good to go. Okay. Now that I got that, I can come in here and let me add a little fillet to this. Down here, fillet. Just a little one. And click OK. And now we're going to add another fillet right up here in this corner. Just a little bit right there. Now everything will be smooth and kind of click together. Click OK. I'll be doing some more in a second, but it's going to suck to have my finger pressing on this flat surface here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a sketch and put a little bevel on this thing. So let's do that. I'm going to grab my sketch. Because I made this thing directly in the center, I can grab that plane right there. Let's do a look at. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put a sketch on here, and we're going to do something that's called a revolve. So what I want to do is make a little shape. Maybe I'll make this out of a, let's make it out of a line. What if I went down here, and what if I should just go all the way across this thing and spin it? I don't know. Maybe we'll do a spline. Let's check this out. I'm going to come down here and go over here and kind of go up like, let's go up like that. Enter. And now I'm just going to come up here for my lines, and I'm just going to connect the dots. Boom, boom, and boom. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to kind of carve that out and see how that's going to work for us. And that'll give us a nice place to put our thumb. Maybe I'll move this down a little bit. Yeah, there you go. The good thing about a spline is you can play with that a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to finish that sketch. Now I'm going to go on over to a new tool that we have not used before, and it's called the revolve. If it's not up there already, then it's down here. Revolve. That's right. Revolve. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my sketch on the bottom part of my sketch. I guess I'll click on my whole sketch, and I'm going to do a select axis, and you'll see I got this axis right here. So I'm good to go. Cut that in there. Right? But let's pretend I don't have that axis there. Let's pretend that doesn't exist. I got lazy and I didn't make it on there. What I could also do, I'm going to do this for you anyway, is I can make an axis for myself. So just do a front view of this. And let's just actually do a home view of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make an axis, just like I made a plane. So I can come up here. And the second part of this, these are all planes. These are axes. So I can do an axis through two planes, axis through 2 points, axis through edge. And I'm going to do axis through cylinder, cone, or torus. Because what I have here is basically a cylinder. So I'm going to come here. I'll select that cylinder and see how that blue line shows up there. Click OK. Now I have an access point right in the center of that cylinder. So if I didn't have my origin point on, I could actually make axes all over the place. And you're going to have to. So that's good that I showed you that. Go back to revolve. That's going to select the only sketch that's on right now. Axis. I'm going to grab that axis right there. I want to do a cut, 360. Click OK. Boom. All right. Now I got this nice little divot in there for my finger. Wasn't that great? I'm going to turn off that construction because that's where that made that. And I'm going to turn back on everything else. Turn it all back on. Cool. And you'll see that I now have this fidget spinner thing that sits on there. If I press it on there, it's not going to go too far because it fillets out, so you're not going to be able to jam it in too tight. So you'll always get proper fidget on it. Now all we need to do is we need to get, well, 2 things to do. We got to put one of these on the other side. Now I was lucky enough to put this in the middle, but that won't help me on this one. Anyway, I'm going to do a mirror. In order to do a mirror in the feature panel here, solid panel, I need to make a plane that's right in the middle of this. Now you've done this already when you did the laptop stand. Go to construct. Let's do a through midpoint. It's going to ask me for a couple of planes. I got a plane there and I got a plane down there. Boom. Click OK. Now this is telling me that I have that turned off. All of those planes I make are going to go in this construction folder. Turn that on and there we go right there. Now to get that fidget spinning top, this little finger thing, into the hole in the bottom, instead of like playing with it, making a new one or copying or whatever, I'm just going to do a mirror. So let me do that. I'm going to do a mirror. It's going to ask me for here component and pick my object right there. I guess it's not a component yet, so we're just making a body. Click on that. Select mirror plane. Click on that. I got it on the bottom there. Click OK. And now let's turn off that mirror plane. Bingo, here we go. Look at that. Fidget spinner. Now all I have to do is make it a little bit more comfortable for myself. So that's where fillets come in. So I'm going to grab that top, grab that bottom, and just put a little bit of a bevel on it, right? I don't want so much that I take out all the meat so that my bearings can crack through. That's probably pretty good there. Maybe I want to put a little bevel on this outside right there. Put a little bevel on that a little bit. Look at that. Just a little bit. And maybe for the bottom, maybe I want to put a little bevel on that too. I guess I should have looked at what exactly I was doing there. Let me undo that. Let me select this top one here and select the bottom one here at the same time. So I'm doing this all at the same time. That looks pretty good. And now I'm going to put another fillet down here and a down here. Matchy, matchy. Just do that, something like that. That's good. And now I got my beautiful little fidget spinner there. Isn't that great? Ready to go. Ready to start fidgeting. And once again, I could go and render that if I wanted to. Make a nice pretty picture out of it. I'm not going to do that. If the joints are bothering you, just turn that off there. Anything that's bothering you, just turn it off. These bodies, I think I'm going to turn into components. Turn into component. I'm going to go through and name this bottom cap. And this one's going to be top cap. Sorry, I must have already done that one. Let's make this one bottom. Actually, I got to redo this one. Top cap. And let's make this one bottom cap. And let's call this one body. Let's leave these as they are because they are the McMaster-Carr parts. So if I was going to place an order for these, I want to know the model number, and so I can order 4 of them. And there we go. Fidget spinner. You did it. Congratulations. I'm very proud of you.